Dearest Wendy, I get so hot when I'm channeling, and I thought I was like, just big girl problems. But no, I don't know if you've ever watched Tyler the Medium, but I always used to wonder, like, why is this man sweating bullets while he's channeling? But I guess it's the use of the crown that starts the frequencies from there. So just in case, I started with my hair pulled up when I was about to do this video, and I was like, hold on. Let me get my, sorry, recovering from being sick. Let me get back in my soft girl era and pull my hair down for this session. Because when I went to go start your video, the instructions like that I heard off top was start with your chart individually, then look at his chart individually, and then look at them together because I'd be noticing something different. Now, when it came to the frequency, I just knew I was coming on here and I was going to pick out the oxytocin frequency. That is the bonding hormone. That is where the energy of love and deep-rooted connection lie. I'm just trying to turn on my tablet. But I went to the main screen and instead I got the soft feminine energy frequency. And so this is me coming fresh off of doing a session where somebody needed the rebirth of Venus. I'm like, so what does this mean for my dear Wendy Sue? Because yes, that's how I have you saved in here, right?
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What would you like me to define?
I ain't asked her for nothing. So, like, what does that mean for my dear Wendy Sue, right? When you want something, you can go about getting it two ways. You can go in your masculine energy, or you can go in your feminine energy, right? It appears, my dear, that when you want something, I'm like, hold on. I love this. I went to go check the information. I was like, Wendy Sue, hold on. That's not her. So, two ways you can attract things. In your feminine energy or your masculine energy, right? Masculine energy chases or goes towards actively, right? Like, Wendy, I know I have you in here. Your feminine energy does not do that. That's like every cartoon we saw when we were younger. The lady would just be walking around like, and then the guy would whistle or something and try to get the woman's attention the whole time. I didn't have you on file, so I'm about to go ahead and add you now. And I have your dude on file now, and not you, crazy. It appears, my dear, that the type of guys that you have been dating, or it could be a root in your childhood. I'm about to find out in a minute. So we're going there, ma'am. Has you more in your masculine energy when approaching guys, and that needs to be reset for you to get the results that you want. It's time for you to be soft, baby, is what I'm getting. For you to allow your flower to bring the bees to you, instead of you ordering a special bouquet to send to the bees that's like pulled out of the ground. Like, hey, here, this can come right to you. There is it feels like a bit of force that comes from anxiety. Do you experience an anxious attachment in relationships? Making sure this Massachusetts is right. March 22nd, 1971. Lowell, Massachusetts. 4:02 a.m. Okay, just wanted to make sure that was on point. Because Lord knows I hate doing a session and somebody's like, it's the wrong year. And then I'll just have to like dramatically fall to my knees like, no. And immediately I see what I was channeling. Dearest Wendy, you are Aries sun. This whole time, from the moment I tapped into it, let me show you. That's where the feminine energy frequency is coming from, right? From the moment I tapped into that, I just kept getting the message. Like, Wendy doesn't do very good at relaxing, and 444 just went across me. She doesn't do really good at relaxing when it comes to love. When she sees something she wants, she kind of becomes a hunter. Now, for some guys, this is great because, like, right? But as you step into this era of receiving or learning how to receive, the techniques that worked for you before to get somebody won't work going forward. And it's like also some of the relationships didn't work out because it's like two batteries admitting the same thing. Like it might start off with a spark, but eventually they start repelling each other away. Your masculine energy that you embody naturally is repelling away. In this case, this particular person, he is let me see. He is a Taurus sun. He is Venus embodied. I don't want to say he's naturally in his feminine energy because I'm not even checking it that yet. But he's delicate. You have Aries at the first degree. That means this is the first time of you actually harnessing your power in this way. Ironically enough, your Venus is in the first house. So physically, you embody your feminine energy and your beauty. But when somebody starts to talk to you and you're interested, I just gotta keep it 100, baby. That's what you hired me for. You holler like a dude. You turn into a hunter. But I do see that the turning point in your chart at the same degree as your sun, that Phallus and that Fides is your fidelity energy, right? And Phallus is your big turning point. Once you feel secure in a relationship, you are going to soften. This is an anxious attachment. Your fear of somebody leaving if you don't firmly form a bond freaks you out into an energy which could push somebody off. Like they can feel the force behind you. So your Mars, which is directly controlled by your sun, your drive, right, is also in Capricorn, which is also a masculine energy. For some, this can come off a bit controlling. It's meant to be used in your career, but because it's connected to your sun, it will linger into other areas. So baby girl, the birth of your Venus is also important. And you know what's crazy? How I know I'm like riding a wave? Your North Node is conjunct your Venus. You are stepping into your feminine energy. You are learning how to be soft. You are learning how to receive. You are learning how to not chase. You are learning how to bring things towards you, just sitting in the strength of your energy. Now, that's what's supposed to happen with your masculine energy or that controlling energy. That is your queendom, okay? This is knowing your value, knowing what you bring to a relationship, knowing how you can take a man from 0 to 100, right? Because of that, you never have to chase anybody because, baby, you are the blessing, okay? You know, as soon as a man steps into your energy and steps into your cave, that suddenly his life is going to get better. And for that reason, one particular person trying to figure out how to say this, like, should I just be raw? If you knew that you were the cure for the men that were coming towards you, would you chase anybody to take their medicine? No, you'd be like, fine, that's cool, he'll be back. And that's the energy you have to embody in your feminine, knowing who you are. But your North Node is what you're moving towards, is what you're becoming. The session I just did before you, the woman's chart was North Node conjunct Venus at the 21st degree. Yours is North Node conjunct Venus at the 21st degree. Learning through experience what your value is through your connections with other people. Over and over again, you have seen how your medicine, even in work relationships, has changed the outcome for other people. Imagine what would happen if you were sitting and pouring that into yourself and freely allowing others who are attracted to you to take you out. forcing them to show their hand without you having to show every piece of yourself for them to recognize your worth. Because that's what this feels like. And I'm like, all right, so where's the family issue with this? Immediately, childhood wound. But your mom, that moon in 12th at the 29th degree, you were doing a final exam with your connection with your mom and your mom's family. How does this bring him into the picture? So the moon controls your 4th house, your emotional foundation, your base, all your root stuff. He has a Taurus sun. Your 4th house is in Taurus. He is triggering and pulling in some way, shape, or form the healing that needs to occur based upon what did not happen in your relationship with your mom. And I believe that's the root of the anxious attachment. I do not even know what the relationship was with your mother or how you can connect them dots. I'm going to leave that up to you to tell me in the inbox. But you had to be this Aries energy. You had to be this strong. You've been a fighter your whole life. If you don't do something, it's not going to get done. It's the energy you're used to. If you don't make sure A, B, C, and D connects dots, or this is not controlled, or this is not structured, it's not happening, is what you have seen thus far. So imagine having to learn all that just to learn. It's time to sit in knowing what you are capable of and let stuff come to you because you already know how to handle it. You don't have to do the hard work that you have been doing before now. You are literally, Venus is your lover, your spouse, your money, and just your inherent worth, your magnet, right? You are stepping into that. You're about to have your North Node return, which is literally you getting into this soft, feminine energy. You can still be strong and soft. You don't have to take shit from anybody. Like if you're on a date and you're going good with a guy, you can sit with your napkin folded. You can be cute. You can let him pay and all that stuff. Let him guide the conversation. And still know that you are in charge of everything that's going on here. I feel like that's a lesson you're going to be learning. When I think of it this way, it's like, oh, females are sort of manipulative, but there is a quiet way to wield your power. And you are wielding yours with wisdom. That is what you are learning. That is a part of your experience. Knowing when to speak, when to insert yourself, versus when to force based upon the fact that you can see what the issue is. So what I'm getting just off of you is if you meet a guy and you like him and y'all vibing, and then he starts to fall back, you will give him the space to fall back, but then you'll be like, I know why you're falling back. I can see you have issues. I can help you with those. Don't fall back. Let me get in there. Let me help you. That's the part that needs to be reconfigured a little bit. I'll let you know when I want to reach out is the energy some guys are going to hit you with. Your response needs to be, I'll be here when you're ready. You don't have to chase love. Love is already what you have been routed to this whole time. Doing the opposite brings back up that childhood wounds, which for you, for the first time, was activated around 3. There's no way you remember that. This is a core wound. You have been searching or desiring a partner since you were 3 years old. Like your childhood might have been cool or whatever, but there was always something like missing for you. Who was jealous of you? Who was jealous of the stuff that you were able to point out and see early in life? Was it your mom? Because it looks like the first time that there was a limitation on you being able to feel that intensity or that bond was at 3, but a lot of stuff was reiterated at 7 that like cemented itself in your head that made you feel like you were missing your other half and that what you've been seeking this whole time. That's your South Node story. You've been seeking whatever relationship it was or best friend or something that made you feel comfortable at 7 after dealing from 3 to 7 with feeling like you were missing something or you weren't well taken care of. You've had to fight for yourself since your first year, ma'am. That's heavy. So it's important for you to know that what you're dealing with, the feelings you have, the anxiety, it's coming from. You were born in 1971. How many different cycles? We go around in cycles of 12. How many times have you been around that same loop of feeling that part of you was not properly cared for and seeking that? all based upon something that you couldn't even remember because it was created in your initial patterns. You are unlearning that's difficult. Unlearning to follow the feeling that is like a tugging, like the need, because that's the feeling that is connected to little you. You have since then developed so much within yourself and your experience that you want a partner, right? But when you look around in your life, do you have everything you need? That's the thought process that resets you into your soft energy. Like, I'm looking for someone to fill this spot next to me because it would be nice to have a partner, but not if it's going to drain me and make me chase, because I have been having to do that my whole life. I know what I am capable of. I know what I bring to the table. So now I'm just looking for the person that sees it without me saying it up front. The person that is giving me the energy that I give to all the other people that recreate this pattern. So let's look at his now. Come to the front, Dan. So Dan doesn't know who he is. Off top, his sun is in 12th at the 19th degree. Your Saturn, that first restriction that you had on partnership that came through like your family life, is at the 19th degree in Taurus. His sun is at the 19th degree in Taurus. Now, is he a partner? Yes, that's what the 19th degree is. It's like the final degree of somebody who is a husband. That is ruling his chart, right? But boy, is it taking him a long time to learn that about himself. He has a self-esteem wound. Like, there's a fear that he has of ever being happy because he doesn't ever want it to be taken. And these are all unconscious things. Like, me giving you this information and then you mentioning it to him would further freak him the fuck out because he hasn't let anybody in there, and it makes him uncomfortable. It's in the house of his unconscious fears. Everything in your first house except for your son is in that house for him. You see him. And this is a man who hasn't even seen himself yet. He's going to need a moment, right? So he is going from being deeply locked into his family patterns, just going about his whole life based upon what he learned, ironically enough, at 2 and 3, to moving away from that based upon what he sees going this way. Finding himself a structure where he can develop and see himself as a man, if I'm going to be honest. Bottom line. He has a desire to achieve something for himself in his career, in his life, that gives him a solid sense of who he is outside of who he had to be growing up. Whereas your battle is not so much work, making a name in the world, his is finally believing in himself because he has a daddy wound. Maybe his daddy told him he wasn't never going to be nothing. But he is the one in charge of transforming that pattern of self-esteem within him. Everything about your chart triggers the fuck out of this man. I've been there, girl. It hurts. Like, dang, it looked like we were meant to be together perfectly, but it turns out my energy scares the shit out of you because it pushes you to be your highest potential. Unfortunately, not everybody reaches their highest potential or is bravely willing to accept that which is the feminine energy coming in there. So feminine energy is the flow. When you step into a man, which is the container, the solid format, right? When you come into him with your feminine energy, you are going to flood everything that's in his emotions. You are going to hit all the water because we are the flow, right? All this stuff is in his water house. And this is his unconscious water house. Stuff that he didn't even know was bothering him. His emotions he has been very attached from. and he deals with them with a sort of anger thing. He beats himself up. That is his wound. His thoughts about himself send him into holes and sometimes cause addictive patterns. I'm about to put your charts together now, but I could see why it was important for me to look at you as individuals before looking at you guys as a whole and what's supposed to happen here. You have a mother wound. He has a father wound. Your mother wound made you tilt into your masculine energy to get shit done. His father wound emasculated him more into his feminine energy. So therefore, when a woman who is stronger in her energy comes along, it triggers that part of him that still feels weak and infantile. Didn't I say that sometimes your energy can come across as controlling? Your Mars in Capricorn, right, is right next in his 8th house, next to his Jupiter. That's where his growth and expansion and the part of him that's meant to be a husband is at. But it's in his house of darkness, all his trauma and stuff. So you come along like, hey, baby, I don't care what you've been through. I can help you through all that. When he's not even ready to face some of the stuff he's been through. Now, are you meant to be in his life? Absolutely. His finish line, his North Node, is in your home, in your house, you guys together in isolation. But is he ready to become the healed version of himself? Or is he still clinging to the pain because he's afraid that pulling off the Band-Aid is going to hurt more than just letting it fester underneath, is the question. You are a blessing to this man. You heal him in a way that he has not been healed before. Sometimes healing hurts. So what I was saying in the beginning about sometimes it's okay to say, I recognize that you need time. Come back to me when you're ready. You making your presence known is already been done. He has to decide to accept the prompt because he is the masculine energy. You being in your soft means you're going to start enjoying that new haircut first and foremost, right? But you're going to go on other dates. You're going to watch how other men interact with you. You're going to pass some time by doing things for yourself, like getting your nails done or starting to do manicures. Finding new things to do with your money that improve your style. It's like you're coming into your style. That's what your North Node return is. You recognizing your own beauty and how it's unique, different from other people in your family. Seems sort of like alien-esque is what I'm getting. And that's a strange term, alien-esque, right? But think about all, I don't know if you watched America's Next Top Model. If not, this will be a crappy example. But think about all the girls that Tyra always picked out. There'd be these beautiful, beautiful women. But the one that Tyra's eyes would go to was like, hey, you have these super unique eyes. Like, I haven't seen anything like that before. Can we play off of those eyes? That's what I feel from your beauty. There are things about you that if you had tried to go about them like a Christy Turlington, they would have downplayed on your beauty. But maybe you're the type of girl that needs a shorter do because you have amazing cheekbones or something like that. You are learning to embrace your unique beauty by playing around with different things and the different reactions you get from allowing yourself to explore the dating world. Your desire to pair down with one partner has somehow, at this point, like blocked you from a cycle of dating that doesn't require you to intimately link with anybody. You're just seeing how your energy plays out with other people. And during this time I'm getting, he'll have the time to think or recognize his life without you because he's also just trying to do something in his work life. He's trying to feel like a man. He's trying to get in his masculine energy. You already got that masculine energy. This man was, I don't want to say sissified, but women emasculated him and his dad emasculated him. Like I see a kid getting punched in his chest, which is really hard to like channel because as soon as you start getting emotional or you get emotionally attached to something, the channel disappears. But I'm seeing like a kid literally that got knocked on his ass all the time. Like if he would cry, like, don't fucking cry. Like that sort of energy. But then women who would back that energy up like, hey, boys don't cry and stuff like that. So when you, a strong woman, comes along, it really like makes his sphincter clench. So I'm gonna pull and close this with, where is this relationship meant to be going at this time? Where is Wendy's relationship with Dan meant to be going at this time? I think you're supposed to be dating. And he'll come back. And guess what? Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Ma'am, that is your man. That is your husband. Healing family issues. Both of y'all. Healing family issues. Y'all are getting back into your proper energy modality. He needs to be the one to call you back when he realizes that his life sort of sucks without you and say, hey, can I come see you, or can we go out on a date or something? He has to be the one to make that decision, because during his life, everyone has taken his decisions from him. This man has been bullied. Like, I could boo-hoo cry from the sadness I'm feeling coming from this guy at this moment. Like, that makes me sort of an asshole, but I didn't know, like, dudes felt like this. Like, him being sober and overcoming any addiction is, like, amazing, because there is so much sadness in him. He hasn't accomplished anything that he wanted to, and I don't even think he knows what he wants to accomplish. So when you come along and you tell him, I'm willing to love you as you are, he's never had anybody who did not put a price on their love or attention, or who didn't end up betraying him. So these feelings that I'm feeling when he's running from you, it's because it's scary for him, the idea of him falling into something and appreciating it, and then it being taken away. Or maybe one day you'll turn around and look at him and say, I don't have time to deal with your shit, and then you'll leave like everybody else has. So the last card is make the effort. Like, let him know you're there, but give him space. And when you're going on these dates, it's just you learning to sink into your feminine energy. Let somebody take you out. Let somebody pay for the meal. Let somebody else lead the conversation and see what they have. You are learning to make space for his masculine energy to grow in this relationship, because nobody else has. This was heavy. That was really hard to hold that back. And it's just because I had mascara on and I didn't want my eyes to burn. I didn't want to ugly cry on camera. But he needs to ugly cry, or you need to ugly cry for him to get that out. Like, that has to come out of his nervous system. This is like a child who couldn't cry or got beat up for crying. Like, he has so much stuff clogged up in there. So if you do energy work, this man needs some Reiki, girl. Okay? It's not you. It's his stuff. And the stuff that you didn't even realize still needed to be cleared out, because you're so used to being strong. You're like, I got this. I handled it. Shadow work, all that. But if I say, hey, baby, your task is to do nothing, you're going to say, have a good day, Wendy.